It don't take a crystal ball to know how some stories end. When someone keeps saying opinions like facts, the courts start listening. Southern muddin' don't predict nothing, we just watch and write it down. Don't need a crystal ball to see it coming back around. When you state it like a fact and never check it first. Southern muddin', watch it close from the courthouse ground. True, stay patient while the paper getting worse. Same routine, new headline phone. Same bold claims that the record don't want. She speak real loud, no maybe, no seems. Turn opinions into facts like the courtroom clean. I ain't wishing nothing, I just seen the signs. When the words outrun proof, it's a matter of time. History repeat when you don't learn yet. Courts don't care what you meant, just what you said. When confidence louder than evidence be, that's when patterns start explaining things to me. Don't need a crystal ball to see it coming back around. When you speak like a verdict before the truth's found. Southern muddin' in the case, boots firm on the tile. We don't chase drama, we just watch the file, yeah. Country rap calm, I don't glow to grin. I just read the docket when it rolled back in. She called it truth, call it just how it is. But courts draw lines where the talking ends. I ain't psychic, I'm observing. Facts don't bend cause a voice is urgent. From testimony tone to the written page. Same outcome when the pattern don't change. Lies like speed, truth like distance. One burns fast, one keeps existing on. Lies like speed, truth like distance. One burns fast, one keeps existing. Don't need a crystal ball, don't need belief. When the law still runs on proof and receipts. Southern muddin' watching through the courtroom glass. Pointing out lies as they're saying it's facts. Yes. This ain't prophecy. This ain't hate. Just history watching itself repeat. When words get reckless, the courts get busy. And the truth always shows up, right on time.
Hello, hello. Hey, everyone. How y'all doing? Hopefully today will be better than whenever I went live. What was it, Friday? I had so many sound issues. I went and listened back to it, and it was terrible. And I don't know if it's going to be that problem again today. I know the issue whenever I was playing the videos back. I know what the issue was with that, but I just feel like maybe I just have issues with my sound in general. So if it's staticky, please let me know. I got to try to figure out the issue. And if I don't have any feedback, it's hard for me to. Hey, St. Elmo's Fire. What do you mean KJ off the hook again? No, she's not off the hook. Hey, Gravy. Hey, Donna. How's your sister doing, Donna? True Ball of Wax. Mrs. H. Hey, Ruth. You can hear me perfect. Yay. Hopefully I won't have any issues today. It's a very clear, sunny day. We had a bunch of storms last week. I think that just kind of made some issues or whatever. So, St. Elmo Fire, are you talking about, you might be talking about the fact that, I forgot to mention this when I went live. I've known it for a while that, and I've had some people send me some, like leave comments or whatever and say that one of the hearings was removed off of the docket in Katie's case, and it's not a big deal. It's really nothing. Oh, I'm glad she's doing okay, Donna. Short-term memory will always be an issue. That's a scary thing, but you know, I mean, I guess the alternatives, you know, things could be worse, but I'm glad to hear she's doing okay. So some people said, oh yeah, you know, they noticed that one of the hearings was removed. And Basically, what I think happened, because people were trying to figure out why there were motion hearings scheduled in this case. One of them was for like, I think like right around now or the beginning of August. I don't recall. And then one was for, I believe it's September 8th or something. And I think what the situation is, of course, we don't really know for a fact, but I think, because Katie was saying, oh, I'm going to file a special motion to dismiss because, this whole anti-slap should apply here, blah, blah, blah. And then she, I'm fully assuming she's going to file another motion for summary judgment. So I think what the judge was doing was just kind of blocking out. Hey, Sherry, was just blocking time out on the schedule. And so I think that, maybe the judge was anticipating that Katie might have filed some motions by now, and then there would have been some time carved out in the schedule for a motion hearing. But I think that since Katie hasn't filed anything and the judge wouldn't have time to review that, they just went ahead and took that off the schedule. I think this is just my opinion. I really don't have anything to go on just other than just by looking at stuff and guessing, but I'm pretty sure this judge wants this done and over with. My guess is, every judge wants this to be able to settle or to become some type of agreement, right? And I don't see that happening. I'm sure that Amber Stavig's made it very clear to the court that her client has no intention. Hey, Laura has, no intention to settle. But nonetheless, I think this judge wants it done. It's been going on 4 years. There's been all these delays. You could sense the frustration in the last ruling that the judge, made, and it was talking about the delay. So I think the judge wants us to go to trial. So I think all that happened was the judge just put some motion hearings on the docket in the event that Katie Joy was going to file some motions before her deadline, when her deadline is August 31st to file any dispositive motions. And I think that since because she hasn't filed anything yet, that the judge, it's scratchy. Thank you for giving me feedback, Donna. Hold on, let me try something. Can you hear me now? Y'all. Yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe whenever it turned my camera on, then it turned the sound off. But anyways, I think we're going to be okay today. You should be able to hear me now. Thank you, Donna. So I don't need to be up on the screen like this. Thank you, Sarah. But I do like that I can use a green screen so y'all don't have to see. Thanks, True Ball of Wax. Hey, Sunny D. J. Marie. So I don't remember where we stopped off because last time was such a shit show. But let me see. I'm going to be in another window. So it's hard for me to tell if anything goes off because, hey, Cat Sam, how are you? It's hard for me to tell if anything goes off because I'm in another window just reading this stuff. So anyhow, all right. I'm glad you're able to catch a live too. I'm glad you're here. All right, so it might be scratchy. Even your shit shows are wonderful. Donna, you're too kind. You're too kind. Because my shit show, the one that I did on Friday, I went back to listen to it and I was going to edit some parts out. And I'm like, my God, I have to edit this whole, I might as well just delete this whole thing. I'll just go back and do it on Monday. I was going to be gone today, but I moved my appointment. So because I have a lot of things I need to do around the house, I thought, you know what, I'll just go live. We'll try to get through this quick. Don't mind my dogs are in here with me. Okay. I think we started last time at like one. I think we started right around here. I think this is where we started. That's what we're going to start today. So that's just what we're going to do. Why am I not? Hold on. There we go. I just got to get all caught up on my other screen. All right, everybody. So again, I have put a video out that has, that's going to go over the same things we're about to go over now, but I like to do them both ways. I like to be able to put them out there for some people who just want to really focus on the comments that Katie Joy made, that 7M are saying are defamatory. And if I do a video where it's just the comments, then you have that ability to just look at them. And if you want to stop and really think about it, like if, some people might be interested to see, hey, Goose. Some people might be interested just to like kind of look at what the strategy they think that 7M is kind of putting together here, right? So some people don't like my live streams, or I probably don't like live streams in general because I chat with the chat and we kind of bounce ideas off of each other, and then we'll talk about the weather, we'll talk about all kinds of other stuff, right? We'll go off on tangents. But at least in the videos, you can go through it because, look, I want people to be able to look at it themselves. So there might be some people that look at this and go, I don't think this is defamatory. I don't see this as defamatory. And if you don't, you don't. Because one thing we have to keep in mind, y'all, is, hey, Tennessee Nana, how are you? One thing that we really need to keep in mind is that we've been following Katie Joy's, some of us longer than others, right? Some of you guys have been following Katie Joy since like 2019. I came around in like 2021, whenever everything was kind of going on with Todd Chrisley. And then, and then this whole lawsuit happened. So we know a lot about Katie Joy. We have to, hey, Jill B, we have to remember that, this jury's not going to know anything about Katie Joy. They're only going to know what they see, right? I mean, the case is only as strong as what's presented. we can sit here and say, oh, but this and this and this. Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I like to do live streams, because we can talk about all those things. Those are things that we can kind of talk about and reminisce over. But we have to remember, in the court of law, that's in the court of law. You know, we're over here in the court of public opinion, and the Katie Joy community opinion, the anti-Katie Joy, I guess. And so, you know, as much as we dislike Katie, she still has rights too, y'all. So, you know, I have to keep it as fair as I can when it comes to this, because, you know, 7M filed this motion, you know, a motion to amend the complaint. The judge granted it. 7M wasted no time. And in February, they filed this motion. I mean, they filed the amended complaint, and has 212 statements. That is a lot. That is a lot for her to defend against. But not only is it like the number wise a lot, y'all are going to start seeing how bad this is getting for her. Oh yeah, I think her status of journalism is completely irrelevant. It's not the hall pass she thinks it is. In fact, I think if anything, it's going to go against her. And I think this, you know, the judges made it clear in rulings that Katie Joy identifies herself as an investigative journalist. And so, Laura, is this for Minnesota? I think you're about to post something, huh? Is this in Minnesota or just kind of in general? I think that the judge is going to kind of, I guess, probably even let the jury decide kind of if they think she's a journalist. And if they do, first thing they're going to see is she has no ethics. None whatsoever. We're about to see some really bad posts, y'all. Okay. In my opinion, they're bad. When it comes to a defamation lawsuit, it means she'll either need to give up her sources or so. Well, here's the thing. The judge already ruled. So in their motions not for contempt, their motions to compel, the judge, because Katie was like, I'm an independent. I mean, I'm an independent journalist. She does label stuff as that, but she says she's an investigative journalist. And she says, I don't have to give up my sources. And the judge said, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And that was in January of 2024, I believe, is when the judge ruled on that. The motion to compel hearings were like that July. It took some time. And then, January 2025. I'm sorry. The motions to compel hearing was July of 2024. It was ruled upon in January 2025. I could be wrong, but it's around those times. And the judge basically said, no, this doesn't apply. This doesn't apply. And like, if you want to, claim yourself as a journalist, you need to give up your journals, your journals of who you talk to, what's all going on, I guess, kind of like minutes or whatnot, and Katie presumably has never done that. So she can sit here and say all she wants, that that's what she is. I think in this case, it's going to be worse for her. But the judge hasn't put any weight to it either way. But we'll see what the jury says, because I think that's where it's going to come down to. Because if this jury is going to look at this and go, okay, well, she's an investigative journalist, she's a reporter, and they start looking up what ethics need to be, it's really bad. So, as we know, this has been going on since April of 2022. We've gone through all kinds of different things. I've covered it all on this channel regarding this lawsuit. That's pretty much the only thing I talk about is this lawsuit. I'll go off and talk about other little different things about Katie Joy here and there, but the main thing is talking about this lawsuit. Yeah, I agree, see. Yeah, I mean, it's just... I think that as we start going through these statements, we're getting into the bad ones now. I just don't see how she's going to get out of this, unless, keep in mind, she still has until August 31st to file her motions. She's going to be fighting like hell to do whatever she can. She says that anti-SLAPP law in Minnesota covers her ass in this. I disagree, but I'm not the judge in this case, obviously. She also says that there's some, which like time situations that some of this that was some of the things that she stated. What is the word I'm looking for, y'all? Yeah, a couple of appearances with Ashley Banfield does not make a journalist. Does that require her to file a special motion for anti-SLAPP? Like it's not just automatically applied. See, that's what she's going to try to argue. So basically what she said she was going to do, and these are Katie Joy's own words. She said she's going to be filing a special motion to dismiss because the anti-SLAPP, she should be cleared because the anti-SLAPP law. I particularly, statute of limitations. Thank you, Laura. So Katie Joy is saying two things, that anti-SLAPP is going to cover her ass, and that there's a statute of limitations because in Minnesota, at least when it comes to defamation, there's a really strict 2-year statute of limitations. So since they filed this in February of 2026, Katie Joy is saying that anything prior to February of 2024, other than what was included in the initial lawsuit, would shouldn't be applied here. There's a statute of limitations. But 7M's argued like, no, it applies back. Like it applies. It's all related. It all relates back. It's all related to the original complaint. And we're not trying to add parties here. We're not, we're just, it's all the same platforms. We're not trying to change anything up. We're just adding statements that she made after that because she didn't shut her mouth. We know she hasn't shut up. Hey, Sandy. So glad you made it. Very cold in Australia there, 5:20 in the morning. Yeah, right. And see, here's another thing, True Ball of Wax. Some of the, and we're going to see them. We're going to see some of those. And I think we've already looked at a couple. Some of those live streams where she would, obviously, when she was drinking, right, Laura? That 7M has included some of those in these 212 statements, clips from her live stream. And apparently, according to Katie Joy, Amber Stavig, when she was when she was deposed, like during Katie Joy's deposition, she says that Amber Stavig was very rude to her and very horrible, was calling her a horrible mom, but also said, isn't it true you're an alcoholic? Aren't you an alcoholic? Don't you drink? And Katie Joy apparently denied it. Those are Katie's words. I forget exactly how she worded it, but she said that she was questioned about that in her deposition about her drinking. And there's even a live stream where Katie Joy is drinking and she's like, Robert Shin says I'm an alcoholic. And then she takes a sip of her wine and she says, cheers. So these things are going to come up. Okay. Again, she has until the 31st to file her motion or motions, depending upon what she does. And we'll see what her arguments are going to be. But she is going to need to fight like hell in this, because if she doesn't have any reasonings that this judge is like, yeah, okay, I see that this applies. Okay, we can, dismiss these statements or dismiss this amended complaint altogether, whatever it may be. I don't see that happening, but that's Katie's last bit of hope. So she's saying anti-SLAPP. I don't see that happening. She says statute of limitations, but let me tell you too, the statute of limitations, like I said, it's for 2 years. That means it would have had to have been anything between ultimately like the spring of 2022 and February of 2024. She really didn't say much during those times. There really wasn't much. So even if that is like, okay, yeah, statute of limitations applies, it's not going to hurt 7M because Katie Joy wasn't very active. When Katie Joy became pretty active again, covering 7M on all of her social media platforms, is when the 7M docuseries, whenever the Netflix docuseries came out, Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok Cult. And these statements we're looking at right now, like the one that's up on the screen that says 121, that's statement number 121, and the amended complaint out of 212. Okay, so this 121, number 121, this all has to do around the time that this docuseries was released. And this is when they start to just get worse in the terms of, in my opinion, defamation, because she starts to state things as fact. Hey, Skynet, how are you? We were just talking about, because I saw that you left a comment. We were just talking about the hearing that was removed off of the docket, and why it's not, in my opinion, even an issue at all. There's I guess somebody put in the Reddit that it's been removed, and I think maybe some people think that that's going in Katie Joy's favor. In my opinion, the judge put it on the docket just to carve out some space, and went ahead and put one prior to Katie Joy's deadline to file her dispositive motion, which is August 31st, and then did one after the deadline. So in case, let's say Katie Joy filed a motion, because like I said, she said she's going to file a special motion to dismiss, having to do with this whole anti-SLAPP situation, because she really thinks that the anti-SLAPP is going to cover her. At least she says it out loud with a lot of confidence. I don't know why she has confidence in that, but I mean, she has to hold on to something. Yeah, I saw somebody else left a comment. Maybe two other people left comments, and then I saw somebody in here, maybe in the chat, but I think she just carved out time, and whenever Katie Joy didn't file a motion to where that motion hearing could have been held, they just took it off the docket, and that she's going to leave that, what is it, like, I think September 8th is the next one. I think that she's going to leave that on so they can, so anything that needs to be followed up with can be followed up. Did I just say filed? Can be followed up. And then, because this judge wants this out of the court. And I'm pretty sure Amber Stavig's made it very clear to the court. And I could be wrong, I'm guessing, just from looking at everything. I think she's made it pretty clear that her client has no intention to settle. And so I'm pretty sure this judge knows it'll be going to trial. And I think this judge wants to get a trial date. I think the judge is done with her too, Skynet. And it's funny because Katie Joy's like, and Katie Joy has said it out loud to her. And this judge, hey, slot lover. Slot lover, I think it might have been you that also asked a question about the hearing that was taken off of the docket. It's no big deal. It's nothing. The judge, I think, was just carving out time. And so they removed the one that's not going to be utilized. And she's just trying to get this moving through as fast as they can, I think. But yeah, Katie was like, this judge is so fed up with Robert Shin and his stalling tactics. Look, we know that a lot of this has been delayed because of Katie Joy. She can say whatever she wants. It's clear because the docuseries was happening. She even said it. She was like, well, you could tell that she had been delaying discovery through the whole time that this docuseries was going up because she didn't want to give up sources or whatnot through discovery. She didn't want to give up any information regarding this docuseries and discovery. So anyhow, as we stand right now, again, the video is up on my channel. If you just want to go look at all the statements, I did a playlist on my channel, so you can go to the playlist and just pull up the videos that have the statements. The first two videos I didn't read the comments. I'm sorry, I didn't read her posts or anything. But in the last two ones I've done and the ones I'm going to continue to do, I am reading everything. So that way, if you just want to listen to it, you can. Yeah, slot lover. It's nothing to worry about. Oh, she's spending serious money on this, Skynet. That's my point in this, y'all. Listen, Katie Joy said from the very beginning that Robert Shin is out to make her go bankrupt. Robert Shin is out to just like really break her financially. And in my opinion, he's accomplished that. And that's a win. And it's not stopping anytime soon, y'all, because these motions that she's going to be prepping for and she's going to have to file, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of time, a lot of money in that. Then she's going to have to prepare for trial. That's going to be, and then trial itself. This is going to be so expensive. She thinks she spent a lot of money so far in this. She put a post, or somebody sent me something where she had stated underneath one of her videos someone said, you need to touch grass. Basically, you need to go on vacation. You need to get outside. And she's like, there's no time for vacation. I've got a lawsuit to pay for. And my, our master bath has a leak and mold. So she's hurting. I mean, the way she's making it sound, financially, she's not in the same situation that she was prior. I think her views are doing fine. I'm sure her channel's doing okay. But whenever now you're forking out a majority of your income, that has to suck. Yeah, Gravy. I think he's breaking her financially. And there you go, slot lover. Katie tried to bankrupt Miranda and James. Karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch. So we've already gone through some of these. Doesn't hurt to go through them again. You know what, Donna? I mean, I think I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Contrary to what Katie Joy believes, that we're all working for Robert Shin, and anybody that agrees with Robert Shin is being paid by him, all those good things, right? Contrary to to her belief, I don't know. I have no idea, right? But I would guess that his goal is to try to get her off of social media. Now he'd have to take that up with YouTube. And he has really good attorneys. And I could see that if he wins this case where he could win something like that. The only ones that can take Katie Joy off of YouTube is YouTube. Okay. We have to keep that in mind. Yeah, I agree. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Addie Moss. Aid Moss. I'll call you Moss. I don't think calling herself a journalist is quite the pull that she thinks it has or that it once did. Yeah, the second she got served, she should have shut her mouth, but she hasn't. And now, like you see, like up on the screen, it's number 121. This is statement 121 out of 212 statements. And this is where they get bad, y'all. In my opinion, this is where she starts stating things as fact. Like, I think the original 87, yeah, 7M would have had a steep hill. I think that it was going to be hard to kind of prove that burden. We all know defamation is tough. We all know defamation cases are hard to prove. Okay, there's no argument in that. But Katie Joy never stopped talking. Not only did she not stop talking, she eventually got to the point where she's calling him a serial rapist. She's saying that he's running a sex trafficking ring. That all of these SA crimes, all kinds of stuff. We have to remember, too, that Robert Shin has not been charged with anything. Robert Shin's properties were raided exactly a year ago. Well, July 25th of last year. It's July 27th today. It's been a full year since his property was raided. God, it seems like yesterday. It's been I bet it doesn't for Robert Shin, though. His properties were raided. And nothing has happened. He hasn't been indicted. The only thing really that's going on is he's still fighting to get his money back. And that really, what is going on here? Hold on, y'all. I've got an issue. I can't pull this up. I mean, it's showing that it's there on the screen, but I can't get to it. So these are starting where we're at now. This is where we need to start paying attention, y'all. This is where the statements are really gonna come back and haunt Katie Joy, I think. And we're going to go over everything that's in this amended complaint, all 212 statements. I don't know why this isn't. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to have to do this another way. Give me a second. It wasn't letting me pull that up anymore. Is my camera on? Hey, Rach, how are you? Liquor mouth emboldened by the series. Yes, Ruth Carroll. Liquid courage is right. Okay, let me see if I've got this figured out now. Hold on. Let me share this screen, see if I can get. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me blow it up. Okay. Now I got to fast forward through this again. But that's all right because before, I don't know what happened. It wouldn't let me access it. So let's see here. Again, here's, she's tagging LADA's office, LA Sheriff's Department. She's like, arrest him, arrest this menace to society, right? Like, that's going to be a big thing in this case. And 7M has been focusing a lot on that. And I think that it's going to come back and hurt her. I just do, because like I said, it's been a year since Robert Shin was raided and nothing has happened. And Katie Joy has to be panicking. Like, I'm convinced. I mean, she thought he was going to be in jail, in prison. It's been fun watching the case with me. I can't believe all these years. Remember when she said that she couldn't admit that, saying she contacted the IRS on Shin would get her killed. Oh, that's right. I have that clip. You know what that would do? That could get me killed. Yeah, her drunk driving. And anybody that doesn't know, Katie Joy does have a DUI in her past.
Last week on Wednesday, Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, was released on Netflix. On the series, you met so many amazing human beings.
Okay, so I didn't realize that this was playing the whole time because it's not showing me on this screen. So let me go back. All right, so, okay, so we're going to start watching these. These are when the Netflix docuseries just came out. I'll be able to tell the date here in a bit, but the docuseries was released on May 31st of 2024. Hey, Janie, how are you? Hey, Ambrielle. I already said, I didn't say hi to you, but I read your comment. Hey, Miranda. Hey, Frisco Chicken. Yes, you caught another live. The one I had on Friday was a complete shit show, so I decided to just do it all over again. Anybody that's in my chat, that if I start to get staticky or if it cuts out, just type in all capital letters, if you don't mind. Just type in all caps and I'll see it, because I'm in a completely different window, but I can see my chat. Good to see you in here, Rage. I like to see when we have new people coming in and trying to kind of see what's going on with this whole situation. So May 31st, Dancing for the Devil, the TikTok cult, came out. Katie Joy was an archival consultant on that. As soon as it came out, Katie Joy automatically, she got really bold, and you could tell that she thought that she was going to win this case. She basically said, okay, Robert Shin's absolutely going to be arrested. Then she started, as we saw posts prior to this, and we'll see some more after this, where she's telling everybody, contact the DA's office, contact the sheriff's department. Okay, all these things. We need to get this man arrested. We need to get him arrested. You had knee replacement surgery, Chicken? Oh my gosh, Frisco Chicken. I hope you're doing all right. You're doing PT. You like the video, but you like it more with my thought with it. So, I mean, I have a lot to say. And sometimes when I go to make those videos, they go on forever and ever, right? So I was like, I'm going to do both ways because what I do is I already prep it for the live stream. So I have all 212 statements done. Now I think I'm missing like 2. And so I already have them done. So I thought I might as well release them as videos too. Jane White, we need to get him arrested so I can win my case. Is that what Katie was saying? Yeah, pretty much. I'm glad you're doing well. Yeah, I bet that's painful. No, you don't. Listen, the docuseries, I got rid of Netflix after that. I lost all respect for Netflix. I started to watch it. It was 3 parts. It was a 3-series deal. I watched the first 2, and I still remember this. This is how much I hated it. I was painting my living room, and I was up on a ladder and I was painting and I was listening to it, and I was in the middle of something. I couldn't get down and turn it off. And I was so pissed off because I know a different side to this, right? And it's a one-sided story. Now, when it comes to Melanie Lee and Priscilla, the ones that had, that were members of Robert Shin's church that had relationships with Robert, their own personal relationships with Robert, whatever level that might be on, their stories, they had the right to tell that. And I think if they, they're telling their story about how they feel victimized by Robert Shin, that they feel like they're victims of Robert Shin, and that's their right to say that. That's their right to share their story, and I'm not going to put them down for that. I'm not going to victimize a victim. I'm not going to say anything because I don't know their stories. I know what was said on Netflix. I'm not even going to say my opinion out loud. What pisses me off is these 2 people right here that we see on the screen right now, Miranda and James Derrick. This whole docuseries was based around Miranda's image. You can tell me I'm wrong all you want. It's my opinion. Her image sells. Look at her. She's a beauty. She's stunning. Everything that Katie Joy wants to be is this woman right here. Okay? And they used her image in this, and her family. I'm not forgetting that her family was there, and her family was telling Miranda's side, but nobody heard Robert, nobody heard Miranda, nobody heard James. And in the last video, and it might be in this one again, James's sister, because Katie even says, well, everybody had the opportunity to be interviewed, but they didn't want to be. And James's sister's like, y'all didn't reach out to us. Because Katie Joy's like, we reached out to everybody's family. Everybody had the opportunity to speak. And James's sister's like, you didn't reach out to us. So it goes to me, it's one-sided. I don't give a shit what you say in the docuseries. Now, every time I watch something on Netflix, I side-eye it. I'm like, I don't even know if it's true. I don't believe it's, unless both sides are there speaking their story and they're basically arguing it. I have nothing to say about it. Your family can't get rid of Netflix. Yeah, if you're going to go after somebody, don't cry to the public for help whenever they want to come after you. And I get, look, the docuseries, it should, in my opinion, it should have been based around the people that had experiences with Robert Shin, period. Miranda's family doesn't even have any personal experiences with Robert Shin. Now, her sister did for a brief period of time. So, she could have said that, but they used Miranda's image. That's just, hey, Jennifer P. It's so good to see you. People like her are the problem. She's the opposite of a peaceful presence. That's exactly it. And it's so funny. Yes, both sides need to be told. And somebody was asking me, and I think the last live stream we did, wasn't HBO gonna start on this? And hey, Jennifer, and HBO was, but according to Katie Joy, and Katie Joy is the one that said this, and I heard it somewhere else too, but Katie Joy actually said it, that they weren't able to get enough people to testify to it. Which to me says they wanted both sides of the story, but they were only getting one side. And so they weren't willing to do it. Netflix took it on, right? Keep in mind, it's a production company that produces it. But before they do, they pitch it to whomever. They pitched it to Netflix. Netflix took it on, and then they produced it, and Katie Joy was an archival consultant. Hey, Tripping Gauntlet. You're gardening now? Yeah, she disturbs everybody's peace. Sorry, Abby. Gardening. Enjoy your gardening. I wish I could, but it's like 123 degrees here right now, so I'm inside. So we're going to start with number 122. Keep in mind, these statements are from right after the docuseries was being released. This, to me, is when Katie Joy really started to get bad, because Katie Joy starts stating things as fact. Now, these statements we're about to hear are nothing compared to like when we get into like 150, 760s, into those numbers, because keep in mind, the new amended complaint consists of 212 statements that 7M claims are defamatory that Katie Joy made. The original was 87. I think Katie Joy had a much stronger argument. She had 7M would have had a lot more difficult of a time. She probably would have prevailed in some, and 7M might have probably prevailed, in some things. But now, because Katie Joy never stopped talking, slowly but surely, as we get to the 212 mark, she starts stating things as a fact. And that's when they get bad. That is why Katie Joy has to be panicking, in my opinion. Her deadline for her to file a dispositive motion regarding the amended complaint that was filed in February, her deadline to file that is August 31st. She is going to be fighting like hell to get some of these statements, if not all of them, dismissed. And again, just like we said earlier, she believes that this new anti-SLAPP law that went into effect in Minnesota in the summer of 2025, May of 2025, she believes that is going to have all this dismissed. I absolutely disagree. Yes, thank you, Jennifer P. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do so. It will help me get back in the algorithm, so whenever I do go live, you'll start to get the notifications. If you aren't getting notifications, go because I have certain channels I don't get notifications to, and I've had some people tell me, just go unsub from me, but sub right back. Unsub, resubscribe, and then reset your notifications. So here is a video that Katie Joy did on YouTube right after the docuseries, shortly after the docuseries was released. So let's see what she has to say.
Last week on Wednesday, Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, was released on Netflix. On the series, you met so many amazing human beings that have been impacted by a group called 7M and Shekinah Church. The man at the center of the story, Robert Shin, has a 30-plus year history of allegedly splitting up families, forcing...
Okay, keep in mind, too, whenever you see a flash in any of the videos, any of the recordings, it's the statement that 7M included in the amended complaint, and then there'll be a flash to separate from the next statement that Katie Joy. So we're not going to watch the whole video Katie did. We're only taking out the statements that 7M is included in the amended complaint. Also, whenever you see the post that I put in here, only the highlighted portions of it are the statements that 7M say are defamatory and that are included in the amended complaint. Now, granted, when this goes to trial, if this goes to trial and a jury sees it, they're going to look at the whole post as a whole. But Katie Joy made, in the summary judgment, Katie Joy argued that 7M was very vague and what they were saying was defamatory. And so that bit her in the ass, because then the judge is like, okay, yeah, I think you might be right. So therefore, I'm going to allow 7M has the opportunity to refile an amended complaint. File an amended complaint, and they can specify what statements are defamatory. So they came back with 212 of them. So I just wanted to make that clear again, that whenever it flashes, that's because the next statement is what's included. So we're only including the statements that 7M have in the amended complaint where Katie Joy is screwed. Hey, Mama Celeste.
Seeing people to work for him and doing all kinds of unsavory and unethical and immoral acts allegedly on women. Robert Shin has had 3 women go to the police in Los Angeles County and report him for SA. Robert Shin has been accused in lawsuits of so many different claims, and yet today he is still walking free. Robert's MO. Robert Shin wants to control the narrative. He wants this publicity that is negative to stop. He wants Miranda and the dancers that are under his control to go back to work, to be profitable, and to make him money. He wants to continue to run his business the way he wants to run it, without any interference, without any criticism, and without anyone telling him what he's doing is wrong. Well, today, Miranda responded, and this statement that she just put out on her social media is at best nothing but filled with lies. The only pending litigation Miranda has is in a case that was filed against me in the state of Minnesota.
Okay. So here's where Katie is like, look, anything that Miranda Derrick is saying is a lie. If she's saying she's getting threats, it's a lie because I'm the one getting threats. If she's saying X, Y, and Z, it's a lie. But isn't she the one that labeled Miranda Derrick a victim, right? If she's truly a victim, you want to do everything you can to still protect her safety. You want to protect her from her perpetrator. You want to protect her from everybody on the outside. You want your job. Katie says she's an advocate. Her job would be to be protecting her. So first of all, no Netflix docuseries would have ever been done. None of these posts would have ever been made. If you truly cared about these people and you truly thought they were victims, you would be doing shit behind the scenes. Okay. So now when this didn't go over well enough, Katie Joy is inciting everybody to contact law enforcement. But outside of that, don't listen to what Miranda is saying because she's a liar. Okay. That's what Katie Joy is saying.
More than 2 years ago, where Miranda and Robert and James have provided no discovery to prove that I've done anything to defame them. She has been told over and over and over.
Shauna, are you really going to throw that in all of our faces? She's in Mexico listening on the beach, y'all. Yeah, that's the only way you can really watch this. I'll be on a beach come Thursday. So, Shauna, I'll be doing that too. But you're right. The sun and surf is probably the end. Katie's demise. That makes for a glorious day, maybe. Pro Charlotte Luke. Hey, everyone. Happy Monday, he says. And his daily reminder that Katie Joy is a trash bag.
Over again, if she doesn't do what he says and follow his rules and obey and submit to the mentors and to him, she will go to hell. She will lose her salvation. Her family will go to hell. She will lose job opportunities. She will be isolated from her friends. And so I ask all of you that when you see her say these words and you hear her and you think that she wrote those words, please remember that is not her. That is programming and that is Robert. He will deny.
So Miranda has already stated in a sworn affidavit that she controlled her own social media. She's the one that made these statements, and that it was her. And so Katie Joy knows by this point, no, maybe not, maybe. Regardless, it does come out that no, that's not true. That what Katie Joy is stating is a fact here, that Robert Shin is controlling all this. Miranda and James and Robert all say no, they controlled their own social media. Now, how much you want to put into this, I don't know. You were a DV advocate for 9 years. I would do everything I could to protect Miranda from Katie Joy. Right, Donna? Any victim, if you're an advocate, as you know, Donna, you do everything you can to protect them. And at this point, right, Miranda needs to be protected from Katie Joy.
He wrote the statement by Miranda. He will deny that he told Miranda to do that. I have always said from the beginning when she sued me that his lawsuit to sue me was used for 2 purposes. One, it was to shut her up because she would have to say, I can't speak because of a lawsuit.
Bullshit. Okay, so bullshit. That's a lame excuse.
Great, right? So it keeps her silent. 2, he thought it would shut me up and he thought it would shut the Wilkins up. He thought.
And it didn't. And now look where you're at. Because outside of this, You only get worse and worse. Wait till we start watching and listening to what she said on News Nation. She appeared on News Nation twice, y'all. And 7M has included that in the amended complaint. They included the entire interview of Katie Joy Paulson. They included the entire transcript.
That by suing me, he would be able to get the Wilkins away from me or anyone that tried to help them, and it didn't work.
Yeah. So, and for those of you that are unaware, from what it appears, Katie Joy still talks to Miranda's parents. They still talk. And when Katie Joy did a video, I think it was the one she did in February, is the last one that she did regarding the Shins. Regarding 7M, Robert Shin, Miranda, and James Derrick. She said, she says the Derricks support, the Wilkins support me. They support me. They don't support Miranda suing me. Those were her words. I know, Donna, isn't it so good to see Jen P in our chat? I love it. So here's where we were just talking about. This is Miranda. I'm sorry. This is James Derrick's sister. She put a post on Instagram and said, "Good morning. I think Netflix needs to give my brother," and she tags B-Dash, "and his wife," and she tags Miranda, "a documentary of their side of the story. That shit is a one-sided story. Why wasn't James's family interviewed for this documentary? He has family too." So let's see what Katie Joy had to say. Now, this is James's sister. Okay. That put this up. You could see at the bottom where he tagged his sister back, because this was off of James's page, and he said, "She said it." That's all he said. Basically, she said it. Okay. Hey, Bean.
In an NDA. It's really sad what Robert's doing to them, because James and Miranda are so talented, and these posts make them look like they are condoning and supporting the stories or Robert's side of the story, which is actually horrible and embarrassing and will ruin their careers. And that's sad, and that's on Robert.
Whatever, Katie Joy. Okay, so that was, then at some point, and it's also in the amended complaint, she says that Miranda got nasty regarding that, and she didn't. So here's a post that Katie Joy did also around this time. It says, "Yesterday he used the same tactics. Miranda was forced to put up a statement, which we do not believe that she wrote. Miranda blamed her family and me for a quote-unquote one-sided documentary. She claimed to have seen the series, but her response was obvious that she did not watch the series." You see, whatever. Robert responded on his tiny 7M Instagram account and threatened to sue everyone. He accused Melanie Lee and Priscilla of extortion. Robert accused Netflix of giving liars a platform to spread their lies. Finally, he accused production of being in a giant conspiracy with the members to ruin his businesses. "We know the pressure is working. Please continue to share the series, tag the LADA's office, and tag the sheriff's department." And she tagged them so many times, y'all. This is one of them. "And ask them to finally arrest Robert Shin. Please do not let Robert find a way to win back public favor with his games." This was June 5th. So just 5-6 days after the docuseries was released. Yeah, look, this is what I keep saying. Who's going to come and be a witness for Katie Joy? Who's going to testify to all this for Katie Joy? Honestly, who? Is she going to have any of these people say, yeah, these, at one point she says there was 5 or 6 people that were essayed by Robert Shin. And then in the next breath, she says,
first of all, Miranda, James.
The next breath, she says that it was 9 people. And then in the next breath, she says it was 10. So are you going to have these 5, 6, 9, or 10 people come testify? You can't just go around saying that he has essayed all these people. So here's Katie Joy responding to this again. This was on James Derrick's page, and Katie Joy says James Derrick responds. Let's see what Katie Joy has to say. Again, his sister put this up. All James Derrick responded with was, she said it. Like basically, yeah, my sister said that. We kind of feel the same way because Katie Joy had everybody believing that that nobody talks to their families in this group, that nobody within 7M talks to their families. Vic still talked to his family. That's why he wasn't in the docuseries, because his family didn't want to participate. James Derrick still talks to his family. His family wasn't in because they didn't want to. Well, they weren't even asked. I don't know if Vic's parents' family was even asked, but they support Robert, is my understanding. James Derrick's family, he talks to his family. They didn't have them in there. Why? Because that would have ruined their narrative. The other dancers, the only other dancer in 7M that did not talk to their family that was in this docuseries, all the other dancers, from what I understand, that were with 7M during this time when this came out, they all spoke to their families. The only one that didn't is Miranda and Reno. But I think Nick Reno ended up probably, hopefully, working it out with his family, because his family backed off. They actually told Katie Joy to stop talking about him. And then from what it sounded like, because she made a statement that was very clear, because then she never talked about Reno again. But let's see what she had to say. This is on Instagram.
James, Robert, every single person that was discussed was offered an opportunity to speak in the series. James, I'm pretty sure, told us to stop contacting him.
What about his family? What about his family? His sister says that they didn't even ask them. They asked James and Miranda. Well, of course they're going to say no. And Robert, of course they're going to say no. First of all 3 of them are in an active litigation with pretty much everybody involved in the docuseries, with Melanie and Priscilla, and then 3 of the other people were the archival consultants in the Netflix docuseries. Why would Robert, Miranda, and James be part of a docuseries when they're in current litigation with so many people involved in it? It makes 0 sense. So Katie right here just pisses me off. This pisses me off.
The others did not respond, as I'm sure Robert wouldn't have let them do it anyway. And these posts make them look like they are condoning and supporting the stories, or Robert's side of the story, which is actually horrible and embarrassing and will ruin their career. And that's sad, and that's on Robert. It would honestly be better for all of them if they got out now before it gets really bad, and if someone gets arrested or ends up in court. But that's just my opinion.
I think the only one that's... Anyways, I'll leave my opinions to myself. All this shows the public is that Miranda and James do not care about the victims that have come forward. See, that's just a horrible thing to say. That's such a horrible thing to say. Because they're themselves, number one, Katie Joy is saying that they're a victim of Robert Shin, but they're basically a victim of Katie Joy in all of this. This did not have to get to this level. If they're in a cult, if all of this is true, why is this people's content? Why are people making money off of this if these 2 individuals are truly in danger? This is super common in Robert's cult. He gaslights and changes the narrative constantly, leaving people confused. Miranda and James are now showing you the nasty personality that Robert Shin programs into his followers. Do you know where she says they're being nasty? She says Miranda and James are being nasty because James responded to what his sister put out. His sister put that out. He didn't. All he said was she said it. And she's calling them nasty. None of this changes the facts. There are 6 other women that have accused Robert of SA case. This is where she says 6. Later on, we're going to hear where she says 9 or 10. There are members we met that had horrible stories of forced labor, fraud, and assault, but they refused to go on camera. At this point, I would boycott any brand they promote, but that's just my opinion. So she's telling everybody, just, take away everything from the dancers. Whatever little they have left, let's just take it away from them. These are my opinions, and I'm entitled to them just like Roberto. And again, I'm going to say this again. We've said it before. How is this jury going to feel about Katie Joy calling him Roberto? You're going to sit here, and then they're going to also show where Katie says, I'm afraid for my life because of Robert. I don't show my face on camera because of Robert. I don't leave my house because I'm scared for my safety because of Robert. Yet here she is taunting him, calling him Roberto. Oh, yeah, there's so much tortious interference. But I think, and that, yeah, there's so much to say about that as well. And then all these hashtags will be included because keep in mind, the judge ruled that all the hashtags that Katie Joy put in all of her posts, they make up part of that post. So let's say Katie Joy was just talking about Miranda sponsoring Prime Drink or Drink Prime. But all the hashtags said sex trafficking, human trafficking, forced labor, sex labor, all these things. The judge says that those statements make that post about what those hashtags are. So even if she doesn't mention it in the above post, but the hashtags say sex trafficking, the judge ruled that, yeah, it is to be seen that that post as a whole is talking about sex trafficking. What kind of man being sexually abused and his wife being groomed by a pastor? A weak little boy. No man that gives a shit about his wife would ever be okay with their wife being assaulted or groomed. Do better. She's talking about James Derrick here. And I think that if it goes to trial and James is able to be seen and heard by the jury, and then they see Katie Joy calling him a weak little boy, saying that he sits back and watches his wife. Did I cut out the first second? If I cut out for a second, I should be back. Looked like my chat was disconnected for a bit. They're going to see what she's accusing him of. Oh, yeah. Oh, Amber can show how Katie said that she couldn't leave her house because of Toddy and Chrisley, too. I don't know if she'll be able to bring in the past lawsuits like that, but if anybody is there to testify on behalf, of anybody who's like, I don't know if they'll even have anybody that has a history with Katie Joy where they could say, yeah, it's a pattern of Katie Joy. Yeah, maybe. She says, if you are married to a woman, make sure to defend her against evil. When you see your pastor grab your wife's butt, fondle her thigh, or thrust her from behind, say something. Don't ignore predatory behavior. Your wife deserves a man that cares about her, not one that enables a pastor to take advantage of her. No amount of money or fame will ever be worth your wife being assaulted. So she's basically saying right there that she's saying, I mean, if you're reading this, that Miranda Derrick is being assaulted by her pastor, which is Robert Shin. Sorry, I'm reading chat. Oh, yeah. Her references show her microaggressive racism. I mean, she's just going to say, well, he called me sandwich, so I started to call him Roberto and whatever. It's just really going to depend on how the jury sees that. Like, is the jury going to look at that and be like, man, that's really horrible. Like, that's really racist. Or are they just not going to care, right? You just never know. And she says, ladies, if you're married to a man that looks away while a pastor assaults you, he's not worth being your husband. And she's talking about James Derrick here. Hey, Ginger Lee, be safe driving. Thank you for listening. If you have a pastor that manipulates you into getting married, then performs the marriage privately, but you don't make the marriage legal, you are not married, period. This, and I've said this for a while, even before this amended complaint came out, that this whole situation about her saying they're not legally married, that's going to be bad for her. Not only did she say they're not legally married, she gave, she put out there, so the day that he was raided, a year ago, July 25th of 2025, when the day Robert Shin's properties were raided, Katie Joy put out Miranda and James's marriage license. Where did she get it? She got it through Discovery. She's just thought that this whole case was going to go away, that she was bold enough to put something out that she got through Discovery. 7M even said that in some correspondence, like, you know, you put out something that was through Discovery, and Katie, I think, denied that. But nonetheless, she kept saying that they're not married. Then when Discovery, it was proven through Discovery that they were married, Katie Joy made a post saying, okay, they are married, but didn't say much about it. Then fast forward to July 25th, 2025, Katie Joy just goes ahead and puts out the whole marriage certificate, and she doxed Shirley while she did that, which is Robert's attorney. She totally doxed Shirley Kim. Totally doxed her. And not only did she dox her and put out their marriage certificate that she got from Discovery, she said that it was forged. Therefore, it's not real. We're going to see all that. Those are the things that are going to be so bad for Katie Joy. Saying that her marriage certificate is forged and therefore they're not married and that she was right all along. I think I did hear him call her sandwich bean in one of his sermons. Hang on a second, y'all. I think he did call her sandwich, but he's referring to her as a witch made of sand, basically. And it was so funny because she kept like making images of sandwiches. KJ doxing, no way, right? I know, Jen P. You know, if she gets shut down, I just foresee her continuing on, right? I do. I just see her finding another outlet. I just don't ever see her being stopped unless there's some criminal activity, unless there's something criminal happening, you know? Yeah, she said it was forged. No, he didn't call her sandwich publicly. They got, he hasn't said anything publicly. Robert Shin hasn't said anything publicly. His company made a statement once, but it certainly didn't say sandwich in it. They'd gotten some recordings of one of his sermons or whatever, and he called her sandwich. I think, don't quote me on that one. You kept calling her Jimmy John. Yeah, because remember she thinks she's funny. She was like, if you can't find me, look for me here. And she put a picture of a Jimmy John's storefront. Yay, my audio is really great today. Lamb Chop, if you just jinxed me, we're going to have a talk. Okay, so Robert Shin admits to multiple sexual relationships with members of his congregation. Again, if he did, that's really not a crime unless it was against consensual. It's not a crime. You're an asshole, right? If you're having affairs, possibly, but it's not a crime if they're consensual. And think, yeah, I mean, she might be able to prove it, but I think that's going to be so small in all of this. Let's see. Sexual contact between a pastor and church member is a breach of trust and a complete moral failure. Yeah, okay. Pastors have a position of spiritual authority over church members. Yeah. This means there's absolutely no way for a pastor to ever have a consensual sexual relationship with any member. Well, if you're in the church of Robert Shin, maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe they have orgies. I think I said this last time. I don't know. I can't speak for that. I don't know what they do in their church. Adultery is a sin, says an atheist. A pastor that commits adultery is most often automatically disqualified as a pastor. Not in the church of Robert Shin, maybe. I don't know. Theft is a sin. Pastors that embezzle and defraud members are automatically disqualified as a pastor. Yeah, Moss. The only comment he ever made was, I think it was a statement from his company. And obviously his attorneys drafted it, right? No, he's never made a comment. Yeah, she knows everything about all religions, Bean. Pastors that embezzle and defraud members are automatically disqualified as a pastor. And I think part of the reason why they put this in here is because they have proof to show that this isn't true. Okay. In any other church, Robert Shin would be fired. Okay. The story would be one of outrage and horror, possibly. A pastor shamed and humiliated for breaching his trusted role as a leader. Oh, I can't see that bottom part. To engage in devious acts would be reported. Yeah, okay. Again, maybe they're the church of orgies. You know, again, she says, she covers sister wives and polygamy and all that. I'm not saying that this is a polygamous church. I'm not saying Robert has orgies and that he partakes in polygamy. But what I'm saying is, this is Rich coming from an atheist that doesn't even know how Robert runs his chat. Look at it, chat. That Robert runs his church. Okay, sure, in the typical situation, but you're an atheist, Katie Joy. Why do you even give a shit? So yeah, you're trying to cause outrage by acting like there are all these victims of Robert Shin. Now listen, if there are and they choose to come forward, so be it, but they haven't yet. Okay, if Shin is arrested for having forced relations on women without their consent, yeah, go sit your ass in jail if that's the case. People have this whole thought of Robert Shin strictly from, the church where anything goes, right, Janie? I forgot what I was saying. That made me laugh. Oh yeah, baptism is waterboarding, according to Katie Joy. I think they took that part out because the judge even said in one, because that was in the original complaint about the waterboarding, and the judge even made a comment like, okay, this seemed like hyperbole. Like this was not, they're not waterboarding their people. Okay, they were talking about being baptized, and you could tell the judge was kind of like, what? Hey, Frankie Frankenstein. She isn't going to get away with this mess. No, especially now that there are 212. Well, okay. I can't speak with certainty, but for my own purpose, I want to speak with certainty. But she has 212 statements now. And if these go through, keep in mind, she still has time to argue. She has another little over a month till her deadline comes for her to be able to argue all this. She's going to be fighting like hell to get these 212 statements removed, dismissed somehow, some way. I personally don't see it happening. Instead, Robert is allowed to release statements through for-profit companies and never speak for himself. His followers are so brainwashed they don't even know his actions are so reprehensible that in any other church, Robert would be removed. And listen, that is true in certain religions and certain cult-like, or certain cults, or certain, high-controlled situations. But she says with a fact, his followers are so brainwashed that they don't even know his actions are so reprehensible that in any other church, Robert would be removed. If y'all think these statements are bad, just wait. She just stated that as a fact. Then she states Robert Shin is a con man. No man of God would ever harm their flock in the way that he does. He is a coward, weak, and pitiful. He is a menace to society. He needs to be arrested. And then there's all of these hashtags: 7M Films, Netflix, Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, Dancing for the Devil on Netflix, Shekinah Church, True Crime, Shekinah Church International. I can't see the bottom ones. Yes, Skynet, Katie was just nitpicking everything and looking for anything because she thought this was going to go away. I know. It's true. It's like we forget how bad some of these really are. These aren't even bad yet, Skynet. These are bad, but wait until we get into like the 150s. Hey, Irish, how are you? Hope you're doing okay today. I know, Jane. It's like nobody deserves their karma to come around and bite them in the ass more than Katie. Like, for real. Okay, so then Katie Joy did this on Instagram. The dates of everything that we're watching today fell between May 31st and June 16th, maybe the 17th. Okay, let's just call it the 17th. All a short period of time, right after the docuseries came out. Katie Joy thought she was vindicated. She thought because this docuseries came out that Robert Shin was going to be arrested. Balls. The troublemaker is here, y'all. I think you stepped in right as Katie Joy's about to speak trash on you. Because I think this is around the time whenever she said that you... and I don't remember what other creators that y'all work for Robert Shin. I was never included in that. I don't know why, but let's see what she has to say.
One thing we're asking people to do is to tag LAPD and the LA County District Attorney, and ask them why they haven't charged Robert Shin. Ask them the status of the criminal investigation against Robert. You can also, if you want to, and this is again just something I might do if I were a viewer, I would not want to buy products that these dancers are promoting on their Instagrams or on their social media. Like if they have a promotion with a brand,
you're terrible, y'all.
One thing all consumers have an opportunity to do is boycott. Boycotts are illegal and rightful of any citizen in the United States. Like you can boycott a product if you don't agree with their alignment with problematic people. And Robert will call that business interference, but it's the right of all of us to decide whether or not we want to support someone or not. And because they're public figures, if they are standing with someone that is been accused of SA, you also have a right to tell brands like, listen, if you stand with this.
And you do. Okay, you do. You do. And then there's Katie Joy's fucking version of how to do this. Okay. Let's not follow her advice, y'all, unless you want to get sued.
I don't want to buy your products anymore. Now, again, I can't tell you to do that. That is just something you could do if you wanted to,
AKA,
right? That's one thing. So another thing I would say is don't follow them. Please unfollow them. Honestly, every time you see one of their videos, they will make Robert money.
It's a good look, Katie Joy, right there. That's a good look. Again, Miranda and James Derrick have testified in their sworn affidavits. They've said none of this is true, that they run their own social media, that Robert Shin does not control their bank accounts. That's not going to be good for her either. Hey, Katrina Lynn, 100 degrees in Missouri. You planted your fall seeds. I need somebody to give me. My goats are finally put away, y'all. Our fence is up so I can start planting all my stuff again. I didn't think I could plant anything in the summer. Can I plant fall seeds now, Katrina? Is that what you're telling me? Don't forget you're a sister wife and she's jealous because she's in love with Cody. Yeah, you're a sister wife. You're what? Yep. See? Jealous of Balls, jealous of Miranda, jealous of every woman that walks this planet that is successful. Okay, let's see what the dipshit has to say here. This, I believe, is a YouTube video.
This is like very similar to.
I think this is a YouTube video that she did. This, I think, was like the second or third YouTube video she did after the series came out, or after she knew the series was going to be released type thing.
To what Diddy and Cassie went through, right? There's a lot of allegations of SA. I, on the top of my head, can think of 9 women, maybe, no, 10 women that have accused him at one point in time. That's a lot of women that are coming from.
Yes, Irish. Luke was in here earlier, and I had it up on the screen for a while. Luke came in here and he gave us all the daily reminder that Katie Joy is a trash bag. Yes. Skynet, you want your paycheck from Robert? I do too. Apparently, I mean, she's saying, well, here, let's just listen.
He's not paying attention, or he didn't watch the series, or he's choosing to ignore those because acknowledging those would have to prove all of his legal baseless lawsuits that he's been filing are simply to intimidate and to try to threaten people into silence.
Okay, Katie. All these lawsuits, there's 2, bitch. You, and then he sued the 5 people in LA. Okay, remember, was y'all, hold on, my wedding ring just fell off. Hold on a second, y'all, got distracted. God, that's bad. I could have lost my wedding ring. What was I saying? Anybody want to remind me? Because that just gave me my heart just skipped a beat. I forget what I was saying. That's all right. It'll come back to me. Hey, Barney. Thank you. He's over there cleaning himself and gagging. Balls, you're owed millions at this point. Right, Irish? I forget what I was going to say, but it had to do with that. But this is where, okay, so here we are on number 133. This was on a TikTok live, okay? And this was a bad one. This was a bad one. Now you're going to see where we're only going to be able to get through 139 today because that's as far as this particular video goes, to 139. And then I've got the video that's 140 to 212. I don't have that downloaded. I don't have that in my Dropbox yet, so we won't be able to go over that. But we will see a couple of different segments from this live stream. I don't know if 7M did it purposely, but nonetheless, we'll see quite a few from this live stream. You could use your check also, Sarah Lopez. You need a fence at the Riddle property. Yeah, get a check from Robert Shin. We just paid our fence guy, and I was like, oh, ouch. Yeah. See, everyone's like, so, you know, here's the thing. She wanted everybody to think that that all these creators work for Robert Shin. That anytime anybody spoke poorly about Robert, it's because they're being paid by him. No. I've been talking about Katie Joy since 2022, since just before this lawsuit. I think Balls, I don't know how long Balls has been around, but I know Jennifer P has been around this for a long time. 2019, 2020 for sure. I bet you a lot of the people, a lot of the OGs in here, they've been talking about Katie Joy well before this. But see, some of our followers just don't know that. They just don't know. Dry your lemongrass. Ooh. You got new fence gate and ouch, right? Yes, you're going to need a furnace before it gets cold. 2018. So, Balls, you started yours in 2021. Jen P's been following this clown shit show since 2018. I started in 2022. Yeah, you're not being petty. Her eyebrows are horrible. Yeah, she's lucky to have an eye after that infection, but they're too much. You know, they're not my style. but whatever. But yeah, that infection got pretty bad on her face, I think. 2018, says Skynet. Yes, thank you, Miranda. If you haven't hit the thumbs up on this video, please do so. All right, y'all, strap in for this one.
Well, I think one of the biggest signs with this group is the level of control that they want and their demands that you cut off your family. And that's been consistent across the board, is that they want people to cut off their families. They want to control their time. They want to control their money. They want to control their thoughts. Can't the IRS get involved? Oh, the IRS has already been notified. I think everyone at this point is just hopeful that
Michelle says she feels like she started following her in 1902. It does feel so long, doesn't it? Oh my gosh. The closer we get to trial, the more likely she'll keep upping the harassment events. Frankie Frankenstein, she's been pretty quiet since February 9th. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know if she's going to claim harassment anymore. I'm curious as to why. She is just so icky, Katrina says. Okay, this is a doozy, so I'm going to shut up.
Enforcement will finally step in. And I think we hope that there could be some sort of criminal charges, so that those that do remain under his control can finally extract themselves out of it. Because for the most part, I think they're so deeply in at this point that they probably won't leave unless arrests happen. The only way brand deals will stop is if...
See, I mean, this is the thing. At this point, keep in mind, this is in the summer of 2024, okay? The docuseries had just come out. She thought this vindicated her. And so she's just kind of saying, look, y'all need to arrest Robert. You need to arrest Robert. And mainly, in my opinion, it's because she thought that if he was arrested, the lawsuit would go away. Well, here we are 2 years later, and that hasn't happened.
People contact brands and be like, I'm not going to want to work with you. I'm not going to buy your products unless you, if you collab with these people, if these people are going to be endorsing your products.
So that's going to get her, her telling people and inciting people to go and do everything they can to have these brand deals cut collabs with the dancers. You've been watching since the Toddy days, Mothership? Yeah, Michelle Hallman. Don't you know she's a credible journalist? Oh my gosh, Michelle, whenever she was up on his panel, she was talking shit about Todd Chrisley, and she shouldn't have been. And he literally left his own panel. He yeeted himself. He literally just left. And his mods couldn't shut down his live stream, and she just kind of kept talking. It was so embarrassing. Katie sent out cease and desist. Did she really?
No, it has not. Robert doesn't have that many ties, to be honest. I spoke to someone that works in law, who is in the legal side of things in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is just extremely bogged down. And because there's no statute of limitations on rape, those cases are not the highest priority. So yeah, the real issue here is not who has spoken to what parents, which one's in. The real focus is, why has Robert Shin not been arrested? Why has Robert Shin not been taken to jail?
Really? I thought the whole focus of the docuseries was to spread awareness about this group, right? And whose families were struggling and all that. Now all of a sudden it's nope. It's all about, why hasn't Robert Shin been arrested? Why isn't Robert Shin in jail? Come on. Contact everybody and demand. See, listen, you'll hear it.
Why isn't the IRS coming down on him? Why aren't the FBI people raiding him?
I find that very telling. Let's listen to that again.
Why has Robert Shin not been arrested? Why has Robert Shin not been taken to jail? Why isn't the IRS coming down on him? Why aren't the FBI people raiding him?
And then a year later, they raided him. She was anticipating a raid. This isn't going to go well for Katie Joy. And it gets worse from here.
It is getting late here. Say grape.
This is so bad, y'all.
Oh, it just said I was flagged. Interesting. It really bothers me that these social media platforms are so weird about that. Like, he's a serial grapist, okay? He's a serial grapist.
So bad.
Go on to my Instagram too. It's Without a Crystal Ball. And then I'm also on YouTube. That's my biggest platform. I have long stream videos about this situation. I also cover sister wives. I cover the Duggars. I cover all kinds of cults over on my YouTube channel. That's my biggest platform. I think there's like 371,000 subscribers over there. Check me out over there. Make sure you follow over here. Thank you guys so much for all those of you that were like giving gifts and stuff. I wasn't expecting that. I really appreciate that. Thank you for helping me build this platform. But most importantly, thank you for helping us spread the story. Make sure again that you tell your friends about this situation. Tell your friends to watch the series. Again, tag the LAPD, tag the LA Sheriff, the County Sheriff's Department, and just help us get Robert Shin put away.
Yeah, that's going to bite you in the ass, Katie Joy. Let's just have him arrested. You know, better with the Irish. It makes you wonder because, you know, Katie was not wanting to give up her tax records to Robert Shin. She's had to do so. I'm assuming by now she has. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming by now she has. Or else she'd be in contempt and we would probably know about it. And if there's anything that looks wrong in her tax records, Robert Shin's attorney has an obligation to report that to the IRS. Balls. Moraine and James remain loyal to a man that is an alleged SO and who should be in prison. Keep dancing for the devil. Please unfollow them, boycott the products they promote, and contact, and here she is tagging them again, the LA DA's office, the LA Sheriff's Department, and demand they get Robert Shin off the streets for good. So contact the DA's office, contact the Sheriff's Department, and demand they get Robert Shin off the streets for good. This is going to be so bad, y'all, because now that Robert Shin, now this goes to trial. Let's say it goes to trial. Robert Shin's not arrested by then. He's not charged with anything. He's sitting there and the jury hears this. And then they hear how he was raided, what everything he had to go through after the raid, how everything has been done to him, Miranda, and James, and other people, members of his church. Not a good look. Because keep in mind, these people are not going to have the idea of Robert Shin that a lot of people out here do because of Katie Joy's narrative, because of the Wilkins narrative, because of the Netflix docuseries. These people are going to be unbiased. They're not going to have the history and the whole thought of, oh my God, Robert Shin's an evil cult leader. Okay. This is going to be a fair playing ground. Okay. Don't know why I just stumbled on that, but it's going to be a fair scenario here. So they're not all going to be looking at Robert Shin as, oh my God, this cult leader, this and that. They're going to see all the things Katie Joy said, and they're going to see that Robert Shin had a fucking federal investigation done on him. He was raided and nothing happened. Now, where we stand today, could things change tomorrow? Yes, they absolutely could. But where they stand right now, that's not good for Katie. I wonder if she picked up on possibly being investigated. That's why she's so quiet. Frankie Frankenstein, I have a theory, and I think you just picked my brain. But anyways, And then here are all of the whatchamadealies hashtags that 7M say are also defamatory, and that they make this whole post defamatory because they talk about coercive control, free Miranda Derrick, talk about the LA County Sheriff's Department. Okay, so this is something that she did on Instagram. This was one of her Instagram stories. Again, this is the beginning of June. I have no proof, but I think she's definitely being investigated for Shannon outing the safe house. Oh, you think, Balls? Yeah, I mean, I have my own thoughts about certain things too. It's interesting that you kind of feel that way. What happened to Llama Girl? Again, I just, again, when I say things like this, it's just my theory. Katie Joy had this hearing on February 9th where all parties were present. Then she goes and she does this very strange YouTube video that she can't delete and said some very bizarre things. And then she's never said a word since. And I've talked about that before. Okay, here we go. Let's see what she had to say on Instagram.
As for B-Dash and Miranda, it's a little bit more hazy simply because there are records that appear to show that there's a marriage license. Whether or not that's a valid license or certificate remains to be seen.
Okay, so that's where she's saying there because discovery happened, okay? So she knows that they said under oath that they're married. So she had to kind of go back and say, okay, okay, we think they're married. But whenever it happened, the raid happened, and she really thought he was going to go to prison, that's when she was like, fuck it all. And so she just said, hey, they're not married. Here's their marriage license that I got through Discovery. Okay, which is bad in itself. So here's the marriage license I got in Discovery. I'm going to show that. Now I'm going to show that. I'm going to dox some people while doing it. But then, the icing on the cake is I'm just going to say that, oh, it's forged anyways. Okay. Now I just fast forwarded a year from whenever Katie just said that. Okay. Because this is June of 2024, July of 2025. She's putting out their marriage license that she got in Discovery. She's doxing people and she's saying that it's forged. Oh, so this is the petition. It says, please sign our petition to stop 7M's Robert Shin. It says, investigate Robert Shin for his crimes. My understanding, Balls might know this, it was either exposing 7M or stop culting, or maybe they collaborated and did it together. But one of those, either stop culting or exposing 7M, put together this petition. And keep in mind, they're being sued by Robert Shin in LA also. She does sound like she's smirking all the time, doesn't she? Because she probably is. I don't think she's smirking anymore. I mean, she laughed about this stuff, y'all. She laughed about this lawsuit many, many times. She has said so many times, and I've done videos on it, that, that this is going to be dismissed. This is going to be dismissed. She's going to be vindicated, that the judge is going to, summary judgment was going to, be in her favor, and it wasn't. And like I said, I've done videos on all of that. Isn't who stop culting? So here she says, so she tagged stop culting in this one because this was the petition. So there answers my question right there, was stop culting. Never mind. This answered the question for me. Stop culting is the one that created this petition. But the only thing that's included in the, the statements that they say are defamatory are the ones that are highlighted, and it is, please sign the petition. The link is in my profile on both Instagram and TikTok. We are seeking to apply pressure. God, y'all, this is so bad for her. We're seeking to apply pressure to the LADA's office and the LA Sheriff's Department. Of course, she tagged them both again to fully investigate Robert Shin for his alleged crimes. It is well past time that the county know they are failing their community by allowing this to happen in the open and so publicly. Bad. Bad. That is so bad for her. Oh, you thought Katie Joy was Stop Colting? No. Stop Colting is still on Instagram. She doesn't do much, but she's being sued. Her legal name is out there. I'm not going to say it. Oh, I asked you something, then I answered it myself. It was about Stop Colting. But Stop Colting is being sued by Robert Shin. Hey, Danny Taylor, they can't remove Robert Shin from his church, although it's his church/religion he started. It's not affiliated with any denomination or anything. He created it. He owns the building, etc. It is a cult. Oh, it's a cult. Okay, Danny. If that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. If it's his church, I don't know why Katie is saying that he's going to be removed from it. So we're almost to the very last two. So this was 137. We're going to 139 today. Here's Katie Joy. Oh, y'all. Okay. This one gets me going. But here it is. Miranda Derrick said that she made a statement saying that she was being threatened and that she she explained it all, that someone threatened to gut her, to throw her in the trunk of her car. The feds could remove him for illegal activities. If he's found guilty of illegal activities, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if he is engaging in illegal activities and they find that in an investigation, then yeah, I'm all for people being held accountable for things that they do. But Miranda Derrick came online and said, that she was being threatened and all that. And then Katie Joy turned around and made it all about herself. And let's listen. Oh, it was terrible, Frankie Frankenstein. This one was awful.
Robert Shin is an alleged cult leader.
I'll tell you what's even more fucking disturbing about it is this bitch has food in her teeth that she keeps picking out of her teeth and eating it. This video itself has so many things wrong with it. And the fact that she's eating shit out of her teeth, y'all, it makes me gag. Just had to throw that in there.
And he is at the center of our docuseries. I worked on the docuseries as an archival consultant. And there has been an escalating pattern of behavior of Robert's trolls online. And I'm just putting this out there so that everyone knows that this is a game. And
right, Maxie? So disgusting.
He wants people to be scared. He wants people to stop talking. He
wants people to stop talking about shit that he's not been charged with. The glitter, right? Isn't that like so 2001?
If he sends threats or if his spam accounts and his content creators that are working for him send threats to Kelly Wilkins.
Balls, that's you. I talk about Katie Joy, so I guess I kind of feel like she's trying to include me in this. And listen, y'all, I'm for the truth. I am for Miranda and James in this whole situation. I stand for Miranda and James. I want to see justice for Miranda and James. Okay? That's where I stand. I stand on the side of the truth. The truth will come out. It will. Everybody has one narrative because the voices on this side, on Katie Joy's side, those voices that are all against Robert Shin, they're the loudest. Why? Because Robert Shin didn't come out and say anything out loud. I'm a firm believer if the truth needs to come out, it will. If Robert Shin ends up in prison, well, then there's the truth. Okay? But I'm in this for Miranda and James Derrick. And I have been since day one, and I'm not going to back down. This bitch right here, who's digging food out of her teeth and chewing it second time on go round, she is the one that has labeled Miranda and James a victim from the very beginning, and she has done nothing but hurt them and harm them. That's my opinion. I stand by it. Here he goes. Watch this bitch eat some more food out of her teeth.
And Melanie Wilking, me exposing 7M, stop culting. And spam Kelly saying we're going to kill your daughter. Your daughter's going to end up dead. People are going to show up at her house and murder her. I mean, the kind of crap they're sending to her to make her scared is atrocious.
Now, if the Wilkings were receiving those messages, and I have no reason to believe that they weren't. If they were, Katie Joy is about to make an accusation. First of all, she's saying that's all the creators that work for Robert Shin that are doing all these things. She pinpoints one out. I'm not going to say a name. If you know, you know, okay? She falsely accuses a certain creator who she didn't think was going to fight back. She falsely accuses this creator of doing all these things. At first, she said, she did a post, and it had to do with balls. It had to do with Charlotte on the web, I believe, Renell Smith, WOACB versus WOACB. And she said that all of them were working with Robert Shin. And that's what she's trying to sell here. I'm here to tell you, I can speak for myself. And if Balls is still in the chat, she can say however she wants to say it. I've never spoken to Robert Shin. I don't know shit about Robert Shin other than this lawsuit and what I've read in legal papers and what I've watched. Okay. I've never spoken to the man. I am not on his payroll. I am not in his pocket. He does not fucking pay me. I don't like Katie Joy because she's a piece of shit. That is my opinion. I have every right to that opinion. I don't like this bitch because she's a fucking bitch. Pardon my language. She gets me mad. I'm cussing and I'm going to stop. I'm sorry. I just let that loose. I get mad whenever I react like that. I'm just kidding. This piece of shit right here is the reason why I don't like this piece of shit. Not because Robert Shin is paying me. Maybe he should, though. Ball says, I never sent Kelly anything other than to tell her to stop talking to Katie Joy and nothing but silence. Kelly allowed this to happen to her daughter. Kelly is awful. Okay, those are Balls' words. And so Balls is saying that she never sent any threats to Katie Joy, to Kelly. I'm saying I never did. Balls, have you gotten your paycheck yet? No, you said you didn't. So you never said any of that shit. Okay. So you're here to defend yourself. I'm here to defend myself. Anybody else who wants to defend themselves, feel free. This piece of shit right here, I don't like because she's a piece of shit. And because of what she's done to Miranda and James, what she's done to LB, should I go on? Garrison. The list goes on and on and on. Okay, I'll shut up. I'm getting mad. This one right here chaps my ass if y'all can't tell.
And these accounts are all working for Robert Shin.
No. And
if they're not working for Robert Shin, they're lying.
Not lying. I'm not lying.
Anyone that supports Robert Shin and is making videos to come after me has no credibility.
I have so much credibility, Katie Joy. Me. I'm credible. Me over here. I'm credible. How do I lack credibility because I don't like you? How do I lack credibility because you're a piece of shit? Right? Come on now. I'm so credible.
If you're a creator defending Robert Shin and acting like these people are free and they're not in danger, you have no credibility. And you're literally
says the bitch
helping a man
picking food out of her teeth that she probably ate 2 hours ago and is re-eating it.
Hurt people.
Hey, Susan.
I would rather be on the right side of the story and get attacked all day long and be threatened than be on the wrong side of the story.
She's projecting. Hey, Esty.
Supporting crime. If James isn't speaking, it's because Robert said he can't speak. If Reno is deleted, it's because he's been told he had to delete his social media.
Again, sworn affidavits have said otherwise. Miranda and James Derrick, I can't speak for Reno, but Miranda and James Derrick have said in sworn statements that they own their social media and Robert Shin had nothing to do with it.
If Vic is...
Okay, here's another one. Suzanne says she does not work for Shin. She effing blocked him. So that's another creator that Katie Joy wants to loop into this whole thing, saying they work for Robert Shin. So I myself am saying it right now loud and clear. Suzanne has come in here and said it. Balls has said it. I know that Renelle has said it in my chat in the past, so I'm going to speak for Renelle right now. If she wants to change that, she can, but I'm pretty sure Renelle does not work for Robert Shin. Who else did she say? I know for a fact Charlotte on the web does not work for Robert Shin. Okay, that I know too. So this is just what she needed to sell to her people. She needed people to not listen to creators such as myself who put videos out such as these, airing all of her dirty laundry such as this. Okay? And she has a big following and it works.
He's posting videos with his mom right now.
Hey, Amy.
It's because he's been told to post a video with his mom right now. If Miranda's posting that she's getting threats, it's because Robert Shin has been telling her that she needs to post the video saying that she's getting threats.
No, you stupid bitch. She probably was getting threats. I'm sorry if y'all have on earbuds. That probably hurt. You stupid, stupid, stupid bitch. If Miranda was posting videos with fear in her eyes, saying that she was getting threats, it's probably because she was getting threats. And I hope to God this comes back and bites you in the ass, you dirty, filthy cows. This is the last one, y'all, and then I swear I'm going to stop. Y'all, that right there chaps my ass more than anything, because she's accusing people that have nothing to do with this. And here she's saying that she's not, they're accusing me of defamation while she is slandering all these people. Oh, yeah. Hey, Helen, how are you? So good to see you. Oh, Iris, she gets me so mad. This stupid cow. I can't stand her. I mean, literally, she's sitting there like she's chewing her cud, right? Just start mooing, Katie Joy. I bet you moo in your sleep. You fucking... Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the last one that I have on here for today. I believe this was either June 16th or 17th. We're going to pick up on whenever I come back. I'm going to read this and then we're going to be done. I leave town Thursday. I'll be gone through mid next week. So y'all probably won't see me live until probably Thursday or Friday of next week. And we'll continue on with these. The videos that are up on my channel, I created a playlist. So if you just want to, I'm sorry, Frisco Chicken. I apologize for any of those that think I don't cuss and that I remain calm. I typically don't. I have my moments, don't get me wrong. I just don't like to do it on here because I know sometimes people have little ears that can be in the background and I don't want that to happen. Y'all, she does something to me. This is why I will shut this down and I will not look at this again for another week. I've learned to be able to shut her off because she's very bad for my mental health. If you can't tell. You're a farmer. You cuss like a sailor. Yeah, I guess I can't sit here and try to pretend that I don't. I just don't like to do it on my platform. Yeah, I think the Rockgate slot lover. Thank you. KJ would make a nun cuss. She probably would have made my grandmother cuss too. I don't think ever said one cuss word in her entire existence. And if my brother and I did not make her cuss when we were young, there's probably no making her cuss. So this is still, whenever we pick up on 140 moving forward, where we're going to pick up on is also right after the docuseries. Okay. So what she's trying to sell at this point in time is that Miranda Derrick lies about everything, that she was forced to put out a statement saying that she has received threats. But in all reality, it's Katie Joy who was getting threats. You're on vacation right now. I hope you have the best vacation ever, Suzanne. I'm looking forward to mine. I'll be on a beach. Amy, you've improved over the years. Yeah, hopefully I will improve. I don't know though. As long as I'm covering this dumb cow, I probably won't. And so Katie Joy is trying to tell everybody, look, all these creators are working for Robert Shin. Okay. They are making threats to the Wilkings and to me. They've had me swatted. They've sent me emails. They've taken over my email address. Miranda's not getting threats from outside people. She's getting threats from the inside because Robert wants everybody to believe that she's in danger. Y'all, I think she was getting threats. I think that she was, and I don't think it was coming from the inside. So then Katie Joy says, in the past 3 days, I have been swatted by a creator. Okay, so this, we're going to talk in depth about this, and then I'm going to be done. In the past 3 days, I've been swatted by a creator helping Robert. This creator filed a false report with the FBI in the middle of the night, claiming I was trapped in my home with an intruder and my son. This same creator filed 2 false reports to CPS in my attorney's names, stating that I was planning to unalive my son. Cops woke us up at 4 a.m. this morning, pounding on our door. Here's a little fact. Katie Joy filed an RO against this person. That RO is public information. I was able to see the petition. I read the petition. I know who this creator is. I'm not going to say their name. If you know, you know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who this person is, okay? What matters is that Katie Joy was trying to put blame on this person, and it was proven that they were not involved in this. It was proven that they did not help Robert by having her swatted. It was proven that this creator did not file a false report with the FBI in the middle of the night, claiming that she was trapped in their home with an intruder and her son. And that they filed 2 false reports to CPS. Okay. This creator turned around and filed an RO on Katie Joy. And because it went through the courts, they fought it out, and the judge did not grant either RO. None of this information that Katie Joy was accusing this particular person of doing was proven true. So she's saying to her people right now that there's a specific creator that did all these horrible things. And it wasn't true. Okay. How do you accuse somebody of these things? I read the petition. That the petition gave emails from this person, but she couldn't prove where the emails came from. There was a lot of things that couldn't be proven. That's all I'm going to say. Right. It says cops woke us up at 4 a.m. this morning, pounding on our door. Jill B is reminding us all that swatting is when law enforcement comes with guns out ready to apprehend, not knocking on the door. So now she's making it beyond this one person, and she says this same group has created no less than 3 emails in my name. Okay, so now it's a group. It's not this one creator. It's a group. Okay. This same group has created no less than 3 emails in my name and have sent threats to Robert Shin's attorney, my attorney, other creators, and people still in Robert's church. Their email to me on Thursday stated their goal was that I would be arrested and Robert Shin would be left alone by me. This creator, now it's a creator, has threatened to unalive my child, my husband, and me. All of this is supposed to scare me to stop reporting on Robert Shin. If this is true, and you received all these threats and all this was happening, if it were me and my child, damn right it would scare me to stop reporting on somebody. Miranda agreed that poor girl was terrified when someone followed her. Was that person one of KJ's flying monkeys? Who knows? But she was getting a lot of hate. We have to keep in mind, it's not just Katie Joy, too. The docuseries came out. Miranda's family was going all against Miranda, throwing her under the bus the whole time. She didn't want to go see her grandpa. She didn't go to the funeral. She doesn't talk to her grandmother. Newsflash, y'all. Miranda still talks to her grandmother. She never stopped talking to her grandmother, okay? She stopped talking to her parents because she chose to separate from her parents. That's Miranda's story to tell, okay? Why she chose to is her story to tell. Was this video made before or after they both filed for ROs? She filed it right after this, I believe. LB was actually swatted. Jane, I didn't know that. I didn't know that she was actually swatted. I knew that it was not a good situation when she was arrested, but I didn't realize that she was swatted. Oh, it infuriates me. Karma's a bitch, y'all. Karma is a bitch. Then it says this creator filed false reports in my name to the state attorney general of Minnesota. They have contacted other people posing as me. This behavior is criminal, and now because they involved the FBI, this has become a federal crime. Oh, okay. Good. Glad the FBI is involved there, Katie Joy. If Robert Shin is tied to any of this, I won't stop until he's in prison along with the creators he's incited against me. So if Robert Shin is tied to any of this, she's not going to stop until he's in prison. You already tried to set up this creator by saying she did all these things. Was this a setup for Robert Shin too? I don't know, just a thought. Yeah, she doxed the Turpin kids. They were victims. Karma has a very long memory. Yeah, my dog is having puppy dreams. Sorry. I won't stop until he's in prison along with the creators he's incited against me. So now she's saying all these creators should be in prison with him because he made everybody hate her and had her swatted or whatever. Catherine, she doxed so many people that you couldn't name them all. As Todd Chrisley says, karma knows your address. Does he say that? Y'all, he cracks me up. He cracks me up. In fact, here, let's just listen to this.
Truth will rise just like the sun every day. Two things you can be guaranteed of is that the sun's going to come up tomorrow and that the truth will be revealed. And it's going to be revealed about you, YouTuber. I understand she gets upset, folks, when you call her a YouTuber.
That will never get old. That will never get old. The way he calls her, the way he says YouTuber. So funny.
Truth will rise just like the sun every day. And guess what, YouTuber? Regardless of what happens to me, it does not diminish my right to sue you. It doesn't take my civil right away from suing you for harming me.
And that's where we're going to end it, y'all. Now, Todd Chrisley said that way back before he sued her. Okay. Karma's a bitch. And where we're at right now at number 139, we're going to continue on whenever I come back with 140. They get even worse, y'all. This one chaps my ass because she is accusing creators of horrible, horrible things that if this creator didn't fight back, they would have had an RO against them and the court would have none, the goober YouTuber. The courts would have known none the wiser. And then anybody that would have seen all this would have thought, oh my God, this creator, this person, because her name was affiliated with it, they did all these things, but they were tossed. And because they were tossed, there's no record of it. Yeah. Todd, come get your YouTuber. All right, y'all. She got me worked up. Sorry for losing my cool there for a little bit, but it pisses me off because, you know, I've read this and I've heard this so many times over the last 2 years. I've done videos on it. I've read it. I've put these videos together. If you have not gone back and watched the videos, I've got them in a playlist on my channel. They're in 4 separate parts, but it goes through statements 1 through 139. Remember, these are the statements out of the new amended complaint that 7M filed against Katie Joy. 212 statements. I've got them all for you. I've got all there's maybe out of the 212, I'm missing like 5. I've got all the posts that she made so you can see them for yourself. As we get into, like, once we get past this a little ways, a lot of it is audio. It's TikTok live streams, it's YouTube videos and the such. Thank you, Frankie Frankenstein. I will have a good trip, I'm pretty sure. Thank you, Miranda. Yes, if you guys have not hit that thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up on the way out. Go watch those videos if you have not. If you're interested in listening to all of the statements that she has made, the videos are up to this point as well, up to 139. Again, Katie Joy's deadline for her to file her motion to argue all of this is August 31st. So we don't know if all these statements are going to go to trial. We don't know that, okay? In my opinion, the majority of them will. From the way this case has gone, just by looking at the patterns of it, they will. But I can't say that, right? I mean, anything can happen. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what Katie's going to argue. But as of now, these are the 212 statements. Well, right now we've gotten to 139. 139 statements that Katie Joy has to defend against. But there are more. It goes to 212. You're welcome, Bean. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Slot Lover. So I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Today's Monday, right? And I'll catch up with you fine people probably the end of next week, Thursday or Friday. Mods, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you, everything you do for this channel. Again, please hit that thumbs up. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay cool. Unless you're in Australia, stay warm.
It don't take a crystal ball to know how some stories end. When someone keeps saying opinions like facts, the courts start listening. Southern mutton don't predict nothing, we just watch and write it down. Don't need a crystal ball to see it coming back around. When you state it like a fact and never check it first. Southern mutton watch it close from the courthouse ground. True stay patient while the paper getting worse. Same routine, new headline phone. Same bold claims that the record don't want. She speak real loud, no maybe, no seems. Turn opinions into facts like the courtroom clean. I ain't wishing nothing, I just seen the signs. When the words outrun proof, it's a matter of time. History repeat when you don't learn yet. Courts don't care what you meant, just what you said. When confidence louder than evidence be, that's when patterns start explaining things to me. Don't need a crystal ball to see it coming back around. When you speak like a verdict before the truth's found. Southern mutton in the case, boots firm on the tile. We don't chase drama, we just watch the file, yeah. Country rap calm, I don't glow to grin. I just read the docket when it rolled back in. She called it truth, call it just how it is. But courts draw lines where the talking ends. I ain't psychic, I'm observing. Facts don't bend cause a voice is urgent. From testimony tone to the written page. Same outcome when the pattern don't change. Lies like speed, truth like distance. One burns fast, one keeps existing on. Lies like speed, truth like distance. One burns fast, one keeps existing. Don't need a crystal ball, don't need belief. When the law still runs on proof and receipts. Southern mutton watching through the courtroom glass, pointing out lies as they're saying it's facts. Yeah. This ain't prophecy, this ain't hate, just history watching itself repeat. When words get reckless, the courts get busy, and the truth always shows up right on time.